Okay. So it seems like some Christians like are attempting to be martyrs constantly.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with that.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, or it not martyrs, but at least persecuted.
Sure. Yep.
And they'll sit around and only talk about Jesus forever in a conversation that is not about Jesus until someone goes, would you shut up? Like, you know, and then they go, right. And then yeah, like, okay, kill me now. You know, that kind of thing. So like, okay. Why do Christians act like this?
Right.
And I guess have you guys made martyrdom too cool? Like
you guys, now you're removing us.
I mean, you're the preacher, man.
I know.
Have you made martyrdom so cool that people think,
or
persecution so cool that people think they need to go around and look for it and try to receive it?
Yeah.
Kind of like how you did in wherever you went when you were like, I'm going to get killed here and I'm not leaving till I'm dead.
Well, that's not the way I approached it. So I think some of this comes back to Jesus' own words. Okay. So in John 15:20, Jesus said, a servant is not greater than his master. If they persecuted me, they will also persecute you.
Okay.
All right. And so,
the end of persecution is martyrdom, right?
Well, it can lead to that. It doesn't have to. And so I do think that there is this propensity in America to exaggerate how much we're actually being persecuted.
Okay.
Especially when you compare yourself to other parts of the world. But I think part of it is, I think some people almost feel guilty. One, because of it, like they feel guilty there's not more persecution. Like when they see all that, you know, Jesus is like, hey, you're going to be persecuted if you follow me.
Yeah.
Well, where really is that persecution in the States, right? Like,
right.
I mean, you know, you may have some like,
you know that, folks?
Yeah, I mean, I'm being honest.
We need some more Christian persecution here in America so that these Christians can feel better about
this. Well, so I think there's some guilt there, like, man, this should be harder or, whatever. But then, too, I think that's, it kind of plays into today's, we've talked about this the last several weeks on a completely different subject, but just like, it's kind of the victim mentality of people.
Oh, so this is Christian victim mentality.
Yeah, it is. It's like,
okay,
poor me, someone gave me a bad look or didn't agree with me.
Yeah, probably because I'm Christian.
Probably because I'm Christian, right?
Dumb.
And you're just like, no, that wasn't why.
Yeah.
Now, do I think that there's a reality that, because for so long, Christianity was the, majority religion in America.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, but, at one point you had 90-something%, then 80-something%, say, hey, I'm Christian,
mm-hmm. right?
Even if they weren't going to church or aligning themselves with Christian values all the way, they would at least say, I'm Christian, right? Well, we know from stats, like that's just gone down the tubes, right? Like that's not the case anymore. The rise of individuals that don't believe in any particular religion, right? They're more of the larger voice at this point, I think. And to where at least Christians, like I think you can say, America's no longer majority Christian.
Mm-hmm.
It might be like, 50% of people maybe now would say I'm Christian, right?
Could you be a martyr for atheism?
Could you be a martyr if that was what you really believed in and someone killed you for it?
Yeah, but you don't believe in anything.
Yeah.
The definition of martyrdom is dying for believing
in something. Yeah, you don't believe in anything. Yeah. So they would say, oh, we believe in science.
Yeah,
right.
Okay.
So it's
dying for science.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think that's why that phrase none has really become a popular phrase, even more than atheism. Because it's like, I just don't care about anything.
Yeah,
like,
the atheists are kind of done.
Yeah, they really are.
Yeah.
I mean, like the true atheism movement, and then you have like the new atheism movement.
Yeah.
And I feel like the new atheism movement was so illogical.
Yeah.
By people who were trying to be logical,
mm-hmm.
that everybody was like, y'all sound crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And so forget y'all. And then I think like the order that, true atheists are kind of, I won't say dying out, but there's an older generation of that. And so, yeah, obviously there's still atheists out there, but there's a whole lot more of like what you call the nuns.
But they're just dumber now than they used to be.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think classical atheists were like real. And I think you still have people who are like that, right? Very well educated, very smart, classical atheist, got it. And so, but anyway, so in light of all this, I do think that our country is shifting away from being a Christian country, right?
Yeah.
So we're probably living in a post-Christian United States of America, and that's completely fine. Like, obviously, I wish everyone would know Christ, but that's the way our country has shifted. And so I do think because the country has shifted that way, that it's led to people feeling like that they are experiencing persecution because they won't let, it's not, you're not reciting the Lord's Prayer in school anymore, right?
Yeah.
Like, which used to happen. You're not,
which means they're killing us.
Right. Which means we're all persecuted.
Yeah.
And so I do think there is an over exaggeration of it to a degree, but I will say though that in saying all that, I am concerned that the country is moving toward a direction that would leave Christians vulnerable to hate speech crimes.
Okay.
And that to me would, okay, now we're kind of starting getting into like what I would consider like real persecution levels, right? Like where you could actually be charged with a crime for saying things that you believe to be true as a Christian. That would be like more like true persecution than what we've experienced in our country up to this point.